Earlier this year, the most ambitious end base in 2b2t history was griefed. Last night, one of the griefers released a world download of the base. I got in contact with Jack the Ripper, the base's builder, and not only did he give me permission to tour the base, but he handed me his original world download. I present to you Space Valkyria 3, the day before it was griefed. What's going on, everybody? It's FitMC, and today we are touring Space Valkyria 3, what is, in my opinion, one of the most impressive end bases I have ever seen, not just in 2b2t, but in Minecraft, period. Jack the Ripper outdoes himself every single time that he builds, and his attention to detail is impeccable. So we're taking a look at this base today. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that this actually feels like a space station. I mean, we are enclosed in here. There's very few parts of the base that are exposed to the open end. Now, we're going to go to the center and head down the main spiral and tour that first. Then we're going to go around to the outer rim here. There are rings all around the station that make it look like almost like a gas giant. It's crazy. So anyway, let's get back in here and explore. We'll end up with an elytra flight around the base. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be sick. So as we enter the main, I want to call it the biome in here. There's lots of luscious green everywhere. Here is where the illegal animals were held. And by illegal, I mean they weren't supposed to be here. I mean, you're not supposed to have cows and pigs this far out in the end, but they found a way to do it. It's crazy. Now here's the central spire area. I mean, you know, the rest of this whole area is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you know, lots of green and trees and cool quartz everywhere. Quartz and the color purple are pretty much standard in all of Space Valkyria 3. You're going to see these colors everywhere. But here's the central area. Like I said, I love just the luscious green coming down from the center here. Up here, once again, lots of quartz, obsidian, the color purple. It looks amazing. Here, Silver Crown King. Oh, Silver! Man, I haven't talked to you in a while. Alpha Computer, like 2 years ago at this point. Hermeticlock. So there were a few base mates here at Space Valkyria 3. It wasn't just Jack. Wow. I'm actually getting drops in frame rate because there's just so many blocks to this build. So now let's go down the central staircase here. Here is where the food reserves were. They were growing tons of crops here. I mean, look, you've got your beetroot. Down here you've got your potatoes. And it just goes down. Carrots, they got wheat, sugarcane. Pretty much every crop you could need, they've got here, and they're growing it. Pretty crazy. Now down here, they've got almost what looks like Greek architecture, just like with the water though. It's interesting using the slabs to like control where the water goes. I like it. Very, very, very cool. Alright, so now let's get down here. And of course the classic chessboard that Jack puts in a lot of his builds. Very, very, very cool. Ooh. He even put in an organ. So here's where all the fun stuff is, like the meeting table here. Oh yeah, it looks like an old cobblestone generator. Let's take a look at the organ. Yeah, maybe we should play a little bit of music, shall we? Yeah, I still got it. Alright, so now, go even farther down into the base. Look at all these chests. Oh, there's even some mob heads here. So this is where a lot of the materials were stored, but this is not even the main storage area. Just you wait till I show you that at the end of the tour. It is so many chests you would think that it was just trying to crash the server. For real. Now, to get down from here, we have to take this staircase. So, you know, this space station, it's almost like a maze. Just how intricate everything is and how to get from one place to another. It definitely requires a little bit of memorization. But down here, the pig spawners. Just some illegal pig spawners in a space station. No big deal. No big deal. So as we continue to work our way down the spiral here, there's even more crops growing down here. I mean, you've got cocoa beans, you've got flowers, wart, cacti, and it just goes down and down from here. Now what's cool is that you've got like all these green areas here, you know, you've got plenty of stuff growing. It's almost like they actually try to treat it like a space station, you know? And as we go down here, you're going to notice there's another biome, not just a green biome, but they've added a desert mesa biome here with its own little biodome and everything. So they, you know, Jack really pulled out all the stops on this base tour, you know, like he is just, the attention to detail, I cannot state it enough, it's insane. Now, as we work our way down to the core of the space station here, you're going to notice right in here, the entire station is built upon one of these end portals, you know, from 1.9. So it's kind of cool that they could go back to end spawn anytime they want just using a pearl there. Very cool. I mean, just look how massive the base is. And when we get to the bottom here, it's really going to give you a sense of scale of everything. I'll turn off my Jesus hacks real quick. Get all the way down. And here's different levels you can get out at. You know, each level has something unique, a different design pattern. But I want to get to the very bottom here. Here we are, the very bottom of Space Valkyria. I mean, and I haven't even shown you the outer rim yet. This is not even that, like... Jack, how do you make these things so big? I just don't understand it. But anyway, let's get back up to the top and let's explore the outer rim. Alright, so we've explored the main core of the base, and now we are going back to the perimeter to show you just what secrets it's hiding. So let's get back through the airlock. There we go. Now, as we get down here, you're really going to see Jack's attention to detail, because there are parts of the base that really serve no purpose, but yet he puts in these little details all over the place. It's insane. Let's take a little leap of faith here, shall we? Or, you know, get a concussion. That works too. Alright. So what's kind of cool is we get out here, there's a rainbow road, just like in Mario Kart. But this rainbow road goes around the entire perimeter of the base. And it's all enclosed. And as we move over here, I'm going to show you the first little, I almost want to call it a pit stop, because this thing is like a legit road, you know? So let's Elytra fly over to this first pit stop without hitting these lamps. Yeah, as I run into them. There we go. Yep, stop here. So as we enter, you've got Jack's banners and his traditional corner door design like this. He uses this all over the place. He used this at Asgard 2. I mean, it's sort of kind of like his signature doorway. It's kind of cool. Now, in here we've got almost like an observation platform that lets you look at the rest of the base. So there's the main core. There's the elevator shaft that we fell down, and then this is the rainbow road that got us here. So, I mean, it just goes to show you, even up here, this observation tower at the very top, they've got like water elevators up and down. What's cool is that they had the blocks in place for if 2b2t was ever going to update to 1.13, which right now it still hasn't, but it's cool that they put these blocks in place just to sort of anticipate the update coming. Now, let's get back onto the Rainbow Road, because there's so much more I need to show you of this base. Now, I'm going to actually fly backwards this way, because the rest of the tour we are going to do on the outside of the base, just so I can give you a sense of scale of this bad boy. Now, here's one of the few places where, yes, you actually can get out into the end. Now, let me just see if I can fly up with my Elytra. There we go. So you're going to notice these massive rings stretching all the way out this way. These rings are actually incomplete, and Jack was in the process of covering them all in quartz. And I mean, if you were to look at it from way above, it makes it look almost like a planet. you know what I'm saying? That, like, it's insane, just the scale of this build. But as we continue to fly around, you're going to see that there were these observation towers and more elevator shafts, just like the one we fell down. And they just circle the entire base. The entirety of it is insane. Now, you're probably thinking, where did Jack and the rest of the builders store all these materials? Like, how do you even transport this kind of stuff? Oh, do you want me to show you their item storage? Well, let me just say, as I pull up to it, I'm gonna lag. So the frame rate of this video is about to drop hardcore. Take a look at this. These are all the chests that they used to store the materials. They were duped here, and you might even be able to hear my computer fan running in the background. It's just doing its best to just load all of these chests. But I could imagine that if you were to load all these chests on the server, I could imagine that it would tax it quite a bit. I would not be surprised if, because the illegal plugin item checks chests all the time, I would not be surprised if just loading this chunk dropped the TPS a little bit. I mean, just look at all these chests. I gotta get out of here before my computer gets fried. Let's move. But let's go ahead and take a look at, once again, the central core of the base, but from the outside this time, using the Elytra. Oh, man, it's just so massive. Remember, this was all built by hand. This was not world downloaded and world edited and then put back on the server. No, this was all done by hand. It's just, it's insane to me that every time Jack the Ripper builds a base, he just outdoes himself every single time. This is the largest end base I've ever seen, one of the most impressive I've ever seen in Minecraft. I'm just repeating myself at this point. I cannot state enough just how thoroughly impressed I am at the absolute magnitude of this base. It is an absolute unit. Absolute unit. And to think that this was built on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, a server with no rules, and you get beauties like this. Well, I think I've shown you everything there is to be shown. Jack the Ripper, Hermeticlock, Silver Crown King, Alpha Computer. The basemates go on, but they all contributed their hearts and souls to this base, and it really paid off. It's a shame that it had to be griefed before it could be fully finished, but even though it was not fully finished, it's beautiful nonetheless. So Jack, you continue to prove day in and day out that you are the best builder on 2b2t. I mean, hats off to you, my friend. But that's it for today's video, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And also follow me on Twitch for my weekly Twitch streams. But that's it, everyone. What are you going to build here on the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft? I'm excited to see. Take it easy, Fit Fam. Stay alive out there. And we'll see you next time. Adios.